Hello, and welcome to On Technology. I'm Thomas Banks, your host and author of the geopolitical thriller Indefensible, and the moderator of Drone on One at Twitter, where tens of thousands of concerned citizens like you join me daily to discuss the imminent threat of technological jihad in America and across the globe. In this, the second episode in a continuing series entitled On Technology, I'm going to discuss the indefensible nature of the imminent threat of high-tech micro-drone jihad. So my friends, join me as I continue to share with you my perception of the threat of autonomous weaponized microdrones in the hands of embedded terrorists. A day doesn't go by when my readers and Twitter followers don't express deep concern about the frightening threat posed by swarms of explosive or biologic-laden microdrones milling around the skies. The two most common questions I hear are, why are drones indefensible? And isn't there a way to defend against this threat with radar, lasers, or whatever? Certainly there isn't a simple answer. The fact is, yes, we can defend ourselves, but how and at what cost? We want to believe that our advanced technology will allow us to effectively combat any onslaught of weaponized microdrones. Very simply, drones are indefensible for a variety of reasons. They are small, operate at very low altitudes, and they are intelligent enough to operate autonomously. Just as important, these innocent-looking devices are extremely agile, they cost almost nothing, they can adapt to a great variety of terrain and landscapes. Since they are small, they are easily disguised and transported, and finally, these fun little devices are equipped with highly intelligent operating systems and programming. In all, these characteristics make drones fundamentally indefensible. The most obvious first step in mounting a defense against any attacking force is early detection. Since drones navigate through our airspace, the most common question is why not just monitor them by radar? Unfortunately, thanks to the combination of limitations to radar, paired with the innate stealthy nature of microdrones, early detection is something we can hope for, but unfortunately difficult to realize. Why is that, you ask? Certainly there are a great number of reasons and limitations, the first being that the most sensitive airspace radar systems are located at our country's airports, which may or may not be conveniently located to monitor potential targets outside the airport area. More importantly, airport radar is designed to detect aircraft which range in size, but all are many, many times larger than your average microdrone. Yes, radar can detect small objects like birds and drones. Unfortunately, small drones would be lost in the clutter caused by thousands of birds that occupy the same habitat. In spite of the power of radar, it has its limitations. For example, most airport terminal radar systems operate with a 20-mile range. For the control and separation of landing and departing aircraft, this is more than adequate. Radar, however, is not perfect, and its capabilities can be dramatically affected by buildings and terrain, which can create hundreds of blind spots. In addition to blind spots caused by terrain and buildings, radar has its own significant blind spot represented by the area in red. For a radar antenna sitting atop a 300-foot-tall airport control tower, the radar would have a blind spot approximately 20 miles in diameter and extend from the ground level to the top of the control tower. After doing a little math, this particular radar facility's blind spot would cover over 314 square miles, or about 5,000 New York City blocks. Basically, an area so large it would be impossible to monitor and police, and allowing swarms of drones to maneuver invisibly. What makes drones so lethal? The simple fact is a swarm of drones is just a numbers game. Yes, one shotgun can probably destroy a single drone, providing a one-to-one effective defense. But what about a more frightening scenario? For example, consider an armada of 5,000 drones divided into 100 squadrons, each attacking a single community. Now, to complicate things further, divide those squadrons into 10 flights of 5 drones each, attacking a random, populated target consisting of thousands of people. What we have is 1,000 targets representing millions of lives. The obvious question is, what would an armada of 5,000 drones cost? Not much. Let's put it in perspective. For the cost of a single predator, 5,000 micro-drones could be deployed, putting millions of lives in harm's way. Face it, the economics alone make this a compelling offensive strategy. A single predator drone costs upwards of $5 million. This technology has high operating costs. The good news, they are reusable and can be Hellfire missile equipped. Based on its size, a predator drone is far from stealthy, yet is designed for surgical strike, single target mission profiles. Unfortunately, large unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, are easily defended against and have an effective killing force of upwards of 1,000 lives per mission. In contrast, an armada of 5,000 drones also cost upwards of $5 million. Yet this technology, compared to a single predator drone, has very low operating costs, but unfortunately are not reusable. Certainly they can't be equipped with powerful missiles, but they can carry enough explosives and ricin poison to be incredibly lethal. Due to their small size and the limitation of detection systems, this drone armada is innately stealthy. More importantly, in comparison to a single predator drone, a drone armada is a shock and awe strategy. In contrast to the single target surgical strike capability of a single predator drone, the micro-drone armada's target profile can span hundreds to thousands of targets across a large area. Due to their size and agility, micro-drones are not easily defended against. More importantly, their killing force is 1,000 times more effective than a single predator drone. So, what if the terrorist drone armada was only 10% effective? What if only 500 drones reached their intended targets, where each target was attacked by 5 drone flights? In all, the armada could simultaneously attack 100 highly populated targets, including arenas, stadiums, malls, hotels, and buildings where tens of thousands of people gather. In one single onslaught, hundreds of thousands to many millions of people would be killed or injured, which would be hundreds of times more devastating than the attacks on the World Trade Center on 9/11. So now the $64,000 question. What are our defensive options? This is the single most debated question I hear from Indefensible's readers. Can't we just shoot them down with a ray gun or a laser, some ask? In this and subsequent episodes of On Technology, we will explore the topic in great detail. There are a variety of answers ranging from low-tech such as shotguns, snares, barrage balloons, and even nature through the use of eagles. And yes, on the high-tech side, a variety of possibilities exist, including radio jamming, energy weapons, lasers, and even airborne defense drones. During this episode of On Technology, we're going to take a close look at the lowest technology solution being considered by law enforcement across the world: nature. I believe governments are genuinely concerned about the threat high-tech drone jihad represents and are considering every possible strategy, including trained eagles patrolling the skies. As illustrated by the video, using birds of prey seems to make sense. Yes, it looks and sounds logical. Unfortunately, many of the birds that would be candidates for such a strategy are either endangered, have recently come off the endangered list, or will soon become endangered because they will be killed and injured attempting to intercept explosive or ricin-laden drones. As birds fall victim to this strategy, environmental and animal rights groups will be outraged. More importantly, a project of this nature will be expensive and, as I shall illustrate, be worthless. In North America, the eagle and raptor population totals approximately 225,000 birds, not all of which would be candidates because of disease, disabilities, or age. As such, the overall population available would be upwards of 50%, or about 112,000 birds. Let's take a look at a strategy to defend and protect the 253 cities in America with populations greater than 100,000 citizens. And to do so, we will press one half of the United States bird population into service. Since birds and handlers can't be expected to work 24 hours a day, each city would have 148 birds and handlers per 8-hour shift, meaning over 100,000 bird handlers would need to be hired and trained, along with a great number of bird keepers and trainers. Compounding this effort further, you'll need to add the cost of food, facilities, and veterinary care. In all, the annual cost to support this program, excluding bird acquisition and initial training, would exceed $10 billion or $40 million per city. Even if such a strategy can be executed, just how effective would it be? Certainly some drones would be intercepted before they could reach their intended targets. But if the bird intercepts a drone, its explosive and biological contaminants would simply be deployed where it was intercepted and may prove to be just as lethal. Even if the drone doesn't explode, the sad fact is birds will be injured and die. Explosions and engagement injuries from spinning razor-sharp blades will ultimately take its toll. Add ricin poisoning exposure, and there would be a constant need for more birds. Once again, man's best-laid plans are fraught with complications. Clearly, filling our skies with thousands of eagles does not provide a long-term defensive strategy. In our next episode of On Technology, we'll explore a variety of technological strategies that are being considered. Until next time, I encourage everyone to participate in this important discussion and inform your friends, family, law enforcement, and civic leaders of the very real threat posed by out-of-control personal drones. The imminent threat of high-tech drone jihad. I invite you all to join me on Twitter at DroneOn1, visit my website at indefensible.org, and don't forget to get your copy of Indefensible from Amazon.com today. Thank you for joining me on this important mission. I'm Thomas Banks. Goodbye.